What is going on, everybody? It's JT here with JT Invests in You, and we have a great show. Of course, we got the gang together today. We've got David over at Crypto for Change. We've got C. Will over at the Passive Income Network.
What
For
is
those of
good?
you that are watching, throw your chats down in the chat. Let us know what you want us to discuss, what questions you want answered, and so forth. We're gonna keep this one pretty short. C. Will's got a little bit of a time limit, but yeah, let's make it happen. What are you guys seeing out there?
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, what's good?
From East Denver, I feel like there was a lot of big announcements that we had coming up the last week. So obviously, I've been bullish. I've been buying. I posted a few of my buys on Twitter, over the past few weeks. But I still have quite a bit of money. I'm waiting to see if we dip down, and if Algorand dips a bit lower, I'm gonna scoop up some. Hopefully under maybe 80 cents. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I picked up more algos. Like I'm saying, I'm kind of exclusively Algoranding for a little while until we get a lot of more clarity in the ecosystem with some of these tokens. But
Right.
it looks like Yieldly, just off the top, coming a little strong. They have put all those staking pools on there, and I feel like it's good that they followed up on their words. And some of those tokens I researched are pretty solid.
Yeah, I've actually, they got they put out the list of the ones I guess that'll be coming next week. There'll be five more. I don't own, but maybe a little bit of one of them. It's actually one of the community coins, knee coin, which is like a cat version, I guess you could say, of the Inu stuff.
Hmm.
But I did think that, Weblin, when that one launched, that one was a pretty, from what I remember hearing about it on Twitter, it was a pretty botched launch as far as the token,
That's what
getting
I
out.
heard.
So,
Yeah.
but then I did a little bit of research and looked on their website. That one actually seemed pretty like cool, just as an idea. Now I still haven't done all the due diligence on like the team and doing all that dive on them, but just the idea of what they're bringing is pretty cool. Obviously, they're not one of the community coins. They're just so I think that it shows that they're actually building something that's not just trying to get people to kind of gather around mentality and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I'm actually interested to see what are you guys doing when it comes to yieldly staking. I've been just adding most of mine into the liquidity pools on Tinyman and then earning the most yieldly that I can each day.
That's smart. Yep.
That's pretty much what I've been doing.
Yeah, that's how I like to play the game. Like I'm a farmer, so I farm the coins and I look for high yield. And I know for me, I look at them as short term plays because asset like Yieldly or like one of my favorites still is HDL because it's been holding up solid in price. But for something like that, for me converting the rewards over to HDL or a Yieldly is a powerful move, I think.
Yeah,
What about
I
you,
agree. I
JT?
mean, I really haven't been doing too much except for really just farming rewards, as you guys said. And I've got Yieldly in about two different pools, and then I've just been farming my stable coins over at AlgoFi and growing that cash position. And honestly, one of the great things about one of the staking rewards on AlgoFi is I'm also rewarded Algorand, so I'm slowly building that Algorand position too. I haven't done any buying honestly in probably 2 or 3 weeks. I'm trying to pull up a chart right now, but for some reason the screen share won't happen right now. But yeah, I haven't done any buying over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'd like to start buying again soon, but I'm not confident that we're done
Mm.
seeing the pain. So I've been holding off.
Trying to time that bottom. So let me ask you this, because I remember back when Yieldly first launched, obviously everyone was super excited. It was the first DeFi platform on Algorand. Prices were, at least when I found it, which was very close to when it launched. You were looking at 0.006, 0.005, and now we're at 0.007. Obviously, a very different sentiment in the market where it's bearish instead of bullish, but there's still the overall, what Eoli is doing is, and they're doing it, to what we were expecting at the beginning of January before the whole Tiny Man thing happened, and then everything kind of got out of whack, and there was more FUD with them, probably launching Yi Sports just because they were
Yep.
excited about that because they couldn't really do all the pools because Tiny Man was down. So like, what is your all's thoughts right now with where we're seeing the price action? Is this a buy zone for Yieldly, or are we still like, is it going to bleed a lot more because it's right back where it was at the start?
Me personally, I think the bleeding it will stop, but I don't think that we're gonna get what we thought was gonna happen, like a 1 cent yieldly or something like that. I feel like it might be around this bottom little range for a while. Um, that's my opinion.
Yeah, and something to consider, even though we are getting back to those original prices, we are still far away from the original market cap. And that's partially
Mm.
because a lot more tokens are in circulation than when Yieldly started because of all the rewards that Yieldly has given out. Um, so, I mean, I'm not convinced that we can't inch closer to that original market cap, which would mean a lower price token.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
How
espe-
much? Let's see. How much of the market or how much of the supply is out there right now?
a good amount at this point. I'm not sure the exact amount.
Let me see
Let's
if I can
see.
find it real quick.
Yeah, Yuli is definitely interesting, and it still doesn't have much competition. Well, I looked at Algo stake, so if y'all got an opinion on that, let me know. But in terms of getting a yield on your coin on Algorand, I still almost don't see nothing better. I like Algo 5, but it's still smaller yields in terms of stable coin.
Well,
So I
Tiny
think it
Chart
still
says
has.
it's 99.99% circulating supply is out.
Oh yeah, Tiny Charts is wrong on
That's
that though.
wrong. Yeah, that's got to be
I
wrong.
wish it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
Well, if it was, then they'd have no more tokens to give out in
That's
rewards.
probably
So
true.
there's
But
you
then we
also
had,
don't wish that.
then they start talking about that burn that we I saw mentioning with
It's
what?
4.5 billion are out right now, according to CoinGecko, and they get their information right from Yieldly. There's actually a
So
link
so
that
they got 10 billions of total, if I'm correct.
yeah, so almost
yeah,
50%.
yeah, 45% circulating. I forget what they started out at. I wonder if this will show it. Let's see.
There's something small like 8%, maybe even less.
Yeah, it was a $10 million market cap July, late July when they launched, and we are at 35 million right now. So we're,
So it
we're
did
still
3x,
we're still
but
three
it
and a half
diluted.
x the market cap. Yeah, but that's because of the dilution.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly.
But
Yep.
that
Yeah,
also still
okay.
put it, it's still keeping it, in a good range to start accumulating as the months go on, especially if we're still bullish that, Yieldly could still see, which is what I was saying at the beginning of the year before, a lot of the FUD and a lot of stuff we've seen happen was I was expecting Yieldly to be at 10 cents by the end of this year. Now,
Shit,
obviously,
yeah.
a lot of that's going to depend upon, I feel like, the overall Algorand ecosystem. But with what we just saw with at ETH Denver, with the big grant given out to bridge to Ethereum, and with the whole idea of state proofs and just a lot more volume starting to flow into the Algorand ecosystem, just with the other DeFi platforms that are coming up, like I still think it can happen. It's just the overall market, I feel like, could weigh on some of these smaller, layer ones with their, with them growing as fast. I think, I still think to see that we're going to have to see the big run of, we'd have to see Bitcoin flip and start running to, close to new all-time highs, I feel like.
Yeah, when you mentioned C3 protocol, that one, the $10 million grant is a game changer because it does put Algorand in that polygon position now where we could become a layer two. And that's where it's got to be where our volume
Yeah.
will actually come from. Not from new users. New users will come, but I'm thinking the Ethereum is where everybody's focus should be. And Algorand is smart for doing that.
Yeah, and I feel like institutions would see the affordability, the security of it, the scalability of it, and then they would want to put more money in because like right now they don't want to do it with Ethereum because there's too much in gas fees and all the other
Yep.
issues that ETH's already having.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, in the short term, it's a really good idea to focus on interoperability with Ethereum, at least in this way. Um, in the long run, I'm not entirely sure if it matters too much. Just, I mean, at least the idea of porting liquidity over from Ethereum, just because, like in the short term, it'll be great because there's obviously enough liquidity out there. But if you compare the amount of liquidity that's in the real world versus Ethereum, it really doesn't
Yep.
matter. Ethereum's liquidity is a blip on the radar
Yeah.
compared to the
Facts.
potential that's out there that we could get before, ever before any of that liquidity touches Ethereum. It could come straight to Algorand. So there's a lot more
That's
fish in the
true.
sea, I suppose you could say. I mean, and Chris Swenner of Reach put it a perfect way when he was talking about developers, because I brought up a similar point, but just regarding developers and talking about how we can pull developers from the Ethereum ecosystem. And he said, why even put that much focus on trying to grab the tens of thousands of developers that are in Ethereum when we could focus on grabbing the millions of developers that haven't even entered the blockchain space yet. And I thought that was a great
Facts.
point, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually a great truth because the space is only growing. Tech is undefeated, other than real estate. You know, the two longest standing, technologies and stuff. But damn, that's a great point. What he did bring up, smart guy.
You got Scaramucci's about to finish his book hopefully soon. That'll get out and get people reading. Seeing all good things
Scaramucci.
about Algorand from a perspective of someone who, it's big money, big investing money that could come in, and it already has come into the ecosystem. What tokens right now, what ASAs are you guys bullish on when it comes to the Algorand ecosystem? Are you guys just mainly obviously I know you said you're not really buying, but just with your staking on Yieldly and your yield farming and what you guys are doing, are you guys trying to collect any one certain crypto, or ASA, or are you just, swapping everything for Algo?
I'm at.
You go. I'll go first. I didn't realize you were
No,
doing
go
so.
ahead. Yes. Fuck my
I
life.
am staking particularly for Xfinite, XET.
Okay.
So I'm staking Yieldly for XET, and then I'm taking those XET rewards and then pairing them with any excess Yieldly I have, and then staking that in the liquidity pool. And then I'm staking any excess from there in either the XET distribution pool or just like back full circle to create, that kind of great rotation of rewards. But then I'm rolling the ultimate pile of rewards back into AlgoFi to pay off debts. So I'm not even keeping the rewards, so it's not even that exciting.
Yeah. What about
Yeah,
you two?
with my loan right now, AlgoFi, I took it. I'm like trying to wait until Algorand get to $2 to $3 and make Algorand pay itself back. So that's my hope. But again, just I'm looking at. I wish Opolis was on Yieldly because that would be the one I'll still be bullish on. But only the HDL and was that the AO token? I don't know exactly what it was, but the price chart